Well, hello friends, and a delightful good morning to all of you. I had amazing plans today. The GoPro was charged, life was good, and now that I'm editing, all the GoPro footage has gone poof. If I find it, I'll make a secondary video from today of the driving, I guess. I don't think I will find it though, as I haven't found it yet. I wonder why the GoPro ate it. I'm rather angry, to be honest, as it was the only footage I have of going through Cawood to York, over Cawood Bridge to Neyburn, and anyways. Our first stop today was at Goldsborough Hall. The current house was built in 1599 by Sir Richard Hutton. It was once owned by Daniel Lascelles, whose family became the Earls of Harewood, bought Goldsborough Hall and the estate in the late 1750s. And the village became famous in the 1920s when Her Royal Highness Princess Mary, the Queen's aunt, came to live at Goldsborough Hall following her marriage to Viscount Lascelles. The village had always been a tenanted village, but in the 1950s, following the Princess Mary's and husband's death, the village was put up for sale, and in 1952, the villagers were finally able to purchase their own homes for the first time in 1,000 years. Nice cap on the property. Today it is a beautifully restored hotel that was bought around 2005 and restored by the Oglesbys. We didn't stay, but we did have a wander through the gardens and the main floor of the house. They were busy setting up for a wedding in the orangery at the back, and it did look rather lovely. Currently, you can only do tours of the garden. Well, not tours of the garden. You can wander the garden, but you can do a tour of the hotel, but they only do them like once a month, maybe. But it's not very often. So there we go. So there's Goldsborough. Enjoy the rest of the pictures, and I will meet you at Rudding Park. Now, before Rudding Park, we did try to drive into Ribston Park, which is still privately owned. Alas, we couldn't get past the gate. This is not the gate. That is the walkway down to the lime bushes at Goldsborough Hall. And now we are at Rudding Park. This was purchased in 1972 and is a Grade 1 listed country house, and it was turned into a luxury hotel, spa, golf, and conference resort. The Regency-style house seen here was built around 1805 by William Gordon, and the current spa, hotel, etc. was finished in 2017. We were doing a bit of prospecting to see if we wanted to stay here on future visits. There aren't many pictures. And then it was off to Markenfield Hall. This hall is an early 14th century moated manor house. The house is an L-shaped castellated block with a great hall standing over an undercroft. Markenfield and Fountains Abbey both have vaulted ceilings. Head over to Fountains Abbey and take a look. The hall's fortunes were deeply entwined with the with Fountains Abbeys prior to the Reformation. The moat can be crossed by bridge into a Tudor gatehouse, and it is not believed that the bridge over the moat was ever a drawbridge, so it was always just a stationary bridge. The house can be dated back to 1086, that is 1086, as it is mentioned in the Domesday Book. In 1150, the estate was held by the Lebret family, who adopted the name Markenfield. The house was crenulated in 1310 by special license from the crown, more as a status symbol than as a means of defense, just to show their wealth and the symbol of the crown. There's the crenulation in the top right-hand corner on the main block of the house. In 1569, Thomas de Markenfield was involved in a pro-Catholic rising in the north, and Markenfield was then confiscated and granted to Thomas Egerton. He rented the house out to tenant farmers, and so all the features kind of were retained, but he never lived there. In 1761, the first Baron of Grantley bought the house, replaced the roof of the Great Hall, and very little is known about the little Catholic chapel hidden upstairs, other than it was used as a grain store in the 1880s, which has actually dyed some of the limestone a really interesting pinky color, but they don't know what kind of a grain was stored there in order to make it change color. The 7th Baron of Grantley began restoring the property in the 1980s to convert the hall from a farmhouse into a family home. To finish off our tour of Markenfield Hall, we had tea and cake in the Great Hall / library, which, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And there's some vaulted ceilings in kind of like what is now a utility room, but would have previously been the kitchen. Enjoy the rest of Markenfield, and I will meet you over at Grantley Hall. our next stop was Grantley Hall. This has been turned into another grand hotel by Valerie Sykes. She bought the property with a vision to creating a legacy for her family, and it is an absolutely magnificent historical building. Grantley Hall was built by Thomas Norton towards the end of the 17th century in the Palladian style, shortly before the reign of Queen Anne. In 1782, the first Lord Grantley of Markenfield is responsible for altering the original small private residence into a grand country house. It remained in the family for another 200 years. There were some fabulous cars in the parking lot. I would just recommend going to see the cars in the parking lot. Sadly, in 1946, the death of Lady Emma, and 1947, Sir William, the continuous era of the private family ownership of Grantley Hall came to an end. The estate was sold and transferred to a financial syndicate. It was opened in 1949 under the wardship of David Hopkins and was used as an adult education training residential college for the next 50 years. The Sykes family bought it in 2015 and gave it a new lease on life. After 4 years of renovation works, Grantley was reborn, blending traditional elegance with amazing facilities. Ceilings, absolutely stunning ceilings. I'm all about a ceiling. But they've very much decorated it beautifully. Just the wander through was amazing. And the color of this room with the chairs, or a bunch of chairs that match the color of the room, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Again, Mom and I were prospecting on future places to stay, so maybe we'll be at Grantley, maybe not, but who knows. But a spa has been added, conference centers have been added. Absolutely stunning. Very quite. And there was a little Shane plate, which I'm sure you saw earlier, which was very charming to see, to come across that in the middle of nowhere. I kept meaning to look up the Shane property in Yorkshire and kept forgetting, and it is Grantley. So there we go. Then it was back off to Cawood for the night. We got back to Cawood and went to the pub quiz, of which Mum won £10. We gave it back to the ladies that we were playing with to go towards their quiz fund the following Monday. And then when we came back from the quiz, I went and chatted with a friend for the evening, and then it was suddenly Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of the tour of Grantley. Have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.